Introducing the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat. Do you have a question from any of the following areas? Land survey, valuation, building survey, land administration, engineering survey, estate agency, property management, and geospatial information management. Join the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat every Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. How are you doing? Thank you so much. It's the 15th July of 2022, the year of the Lord. We say thank you so much. It's a brand new session, brand new area altogether. We have this session of live chat, ISK Live Chat, that is coming live from Nairobi, the capital, Nairobi, city of Kenya. Welcome wherever you are watching us from, wherever you're catching us from. I can't really tell where you are from, but hey, you can just tell me that from the comment section. So if you're watching me on YouTube, karibu sana. And if you're watching me on Facebook, welcome, as well as LinkedIn. Thank you so much. It's a new brand, new style, everything new. Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy that you are joining us so that we can learn. And remember, we have had a little twist here and there since we had our last episode. And this one, there's quite a lot of an improvement that has come in place. So ladies and gentlemen, just tune in. Drop those comments. Let's see how this pans out and let's learn. ISK is here with you. So today, as you have seen all together, we have a new session. We have a new visitor, a new guest, a presenter who's going to take us through something that we need to learn in the profession and add some flavor in it all together. So my name is Franklin, all together from here, ISK Secretariat. Allow me to welcome the guest today. Our guest is Nashon Adero. I believe you can see Nashon in front of your screen so that we can... yes, that is Nashon Adero. Nashon Adero is a geospatial engineer and system modeling expert, cross-sectional experience in the surveying and mapping industry. Actually, I really don't want to give more. I'd rather invite Nashon to share more about himself. Nashon, how are you? Nashon, how are you? Can you hear me?
Thank you, Frank. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Karibu sana. Welcome to the show, sir. It's been quite some time.
To be here.
Karibu sana. Thank you. I believe, dear viewers, wherever you're watching us from, whichever part of the globe that you are, let's keep learning, let's keep engaging, and let's ensure that we walk away with something that is going to be very beneficial to our professional life. So without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Nashon. Nashon, give us the introduction of this topic that you've given us today. What is exactly geospatial technology, then from the margins to the mainstream of national development agenda? Nashon, if you can hear me.
Thank you, Frank, and I believe you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
I can hear you myself very clearly. I don't know if you can.
I can hear you loud and clear, and kindly tell us more about who's Nashon.
I don't know if it was on your side or my side.
But at least I can hear you. If you can hear me, you're good to go. Kindly,
as you have well said. Yes, I can hear you, and as you have rightly said, I'm a geospatial expert, and way back in at the University of Nairobi, I studied Bachelor of Science in Surveying, or what is nowadays referred to as Geospatial and Space Technology, or Geospatial Engineering. And I'm also a member of the ISK, the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya. And by occupation, I'm a lecturer at Taita Taveta University, lecturing engineering surveying, mine surveying, and GIS. That is within the Department of Mining and Mineral Process Engineering. And I'm also a youth mentor and a very keen promoter of Tibet. At Taveta University, I also double as the director of Tibet. So talking of geospatial technology, from the margins to the mainstream, I believe that those who are well experienced in the profession are familiar with the former days when uh, introducing yourself as a surveyor was not arousing any interest. But now we are seeing that geospatial technology is gaining currency, and we cannot talk of organized development across space over time without geospatial technology. And even the familiar daily activities and undertakings involving transport and logistics, we see taking Uber taxis, for example, geospatial technology is at the center of that. We also talk of disaster risk reduction. We need actionable intelligence, and that actionable intelligence must have the location code, the geocodes. So knowing what is where is gaining importance even in national policy discourse. And even in Kenya, we have seen the joint national mapping exercise, and geospatial data is actually the heart of the data-driven digital transformation that the world is embracing today. So geospatial technology is now moving from the margins where it was just a byword to the very center of gravity that is transforming national development agenda and national development outcomes. That is why we have named it today geospatial technology, from the margins to the mainstream national development agenda. There's no leader of a country that can any longer ignore geospatial technology if you are to transform national development outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction. Now, maybe we can go through the presentation so that we can learn and then perhaps questions can come in later. So, dear viewers, thank you so much once again. This is the ISK Live Chat. Wherever you are watching us from, whichever part of the globe, Karibu Sana. We say thank you for joining us, and please ensure that you share your questions so that we can interact with Bwana Adero here moja kwa moja, so that and we can learn more with regards to this geospatial technology that is the margins to the mainstream of national development agenda. Remember to share this. Remember to like for those ones watching us from YouTube, and always we are here to learn. So Bwana Adero, thank you so much. Can you take it up from here? Let's learn, and then questions can come in later. Thank you so much. Please take it over, sir. Kindly unmute, sir. Kindly unmute if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. So I'm asking if you can see the screen I'm sharing in the full screen mode. Just a minute.
Yes, kindly share. Immediately I see it, I will upload it so that members can be following the presentation.
Okay. So let me know if you can see it now.
Yes, I can see it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see it. Thank you so much. So we can proceed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, dear viewers. Karibu sana. The Job Kabongo, I can see you. Karibu sana. Thank you so much. And let's stream in. Let's share this. Let's invite our friends. Let's invite our dear colleagues so that we can learn all together. Karibu, Bana Nashon Adero.
Thank you. So this is ISK Live Chat, and Frank has rightly informed me that this is number one of this year, the first one this year. Happy to be back with the live chat. And he introduced me also as founder of Impact Borderless Digital. This is a youth mentorship program. So this event is the 31st in the series. But today it is basically addressing the geospatial community. And I'm happy to note that young surveyors have joined in. So we are talking of geospatial technology from the mainstream, from the margins to the mainstream of national development agenda. The Twitter handles there are very useful. You can tweet using those two Twitter handles. One is for Impact Borderless Digital, and the other one is my personal Twitter handle, that is @Adero. So just to take you through some preliminaries, maybe you are asking why do we have giraffes there? Taita Taveta University, where I work as a lecturer, is within the Savo ecoregion, and giraffes are one of the animals that are interesting, and you can see them there. But again, giraffes are symbolic because they have good eyesight. And if you didn't know, giraffes can manage with only a total of 30 minutes of sleep in a day. That is half an hour in a day. So can we also adapt ourselves to the changing realities of the time in the geospatial community to have that good eyesight, which figuratively is the foresight in this case, so that we can adapt to the changing needs of the time and hence capture the mainstream of national development agenda wherever we are. So again, I've been challenging young people, and specifically now we are talking about young experts or upcoming experts in the geospatial community, that the world is experiencing what we call digital transformation, and COVID-19 has only accelerated the pace of that transformation. But we can be a proud people within the geospatial community because the data-driven revolution, as it were, is actually geo-data driven. A large share of the big data that is driving this transformation is geodata. Talk of satellite imagery, talk of the data you acquire from other sensors such as airborne laser scanning, for example, and the data you are generating is georeferenced, and in that case, it has the added value that is useful for policy calibration and for informing organized spatial development across space over time, that is. So if you are a student or a young surveyor, for example, look at the transformation that we need to undertake from mere digital literacy to digital fluency, from merely talking about data, raw facts and figures, to data fluency where we can extract value from data as a strategic asset and upgrade that to information knowledge and apply that knowledge to transform development outcomes. From your own local awareness to global awareness, you are being trained to be global citizens. Geospatial experts are needed everywhere in the world. And when we are talking of talent migration, which we should change into talent circulation, you need that high level of skills development, but also digital fluency so that you can operate competitively in this borderless environment and global community, hence what we call global citizenship. And then if you have talents, they will remain raw unless you cultivate them, and you need mentorship. You need to refine the talents to make an impact. And again, we are talking of formal education, but now we are saying because of digitalization, because of artificial intelligence, and within the broader domain of automation, your skill sets need to be upgraded regularly. So we are saying the half-life of skills is reducing because of the digital transformation. So we are in this game of lifelong skills development. So that is acting as a good introduction to you so that you can capture what you need to prepare for, what you need to prepare in order to be relevant when we are talking of moving geospatial technology from the margins to the mainstream of national development agenda. So this slide is just showing you normally what Impact Parallels Digital does, those 6 key areas of youth mentorship. But number 6 is key because you need to be a global citizen, as we have said. You need to be aware of the sustainable development goals and how geospatial technology is key to each of them. If you are talking of poverty reduction, for example, geospatial technology is key to poverty reduction. Equitable share of resources, geospatial technology is key. We need to map out where the resources are, to quantify, and also to come up with optimal access routes and ways of reducing the cost of doing business. And again, we also elevate geospatial technology into the global development discourse. That is why I'm displaying that book there, The Future of Africa in the Post-COVID-19 World. And COVID-19 came to challenge us to have a transformed worldview. And that is why we are emphasizing digital fluency. So this book, which is distributed freely, and Frank will show you how to get it. You can get the soft copy freely because it was sponsored for free distribution, has chapters that are showing how geospatial technology is key to disaster governance, or let's say disease and disaster governance. So talking of this pandemic, for example, you will see that the countries that embrace technology and geospatial technologies are as a key driver of the technologies that were deployed had better outcomes in containing the COVID-19 global pandemic. And this is part of moving geospatial technology from the mere classical application, the margins, to the center. So if you talk of telemedicine, for example, so that you can increase access to medical services, don't you know that you need to know the location where the patient is, for example? And geospatial technology is key to planning how we can enhance health service delivery using location-based intelligence. And you can add more attributes to that location-based intelligence in terms of the profile of the demographics, where they live, also determining the kind of water they drink, the air they breathe, the quality of air there, and hence the prevalence of various kinds of diseases. And that is giving us what we call actionable location-based intelligence. If you are talking of crime mapping, you will be key to the security sector, security intelligence, by adding more information to the location, the dominant vocabulary in a given location, and what are the keywords that go with particular word cloud processing, and can you link those keywords to the kind of crime that is likely to be committed in a given area. So all these are elevating the importance and the replaceability of geospatial technology in modern global development discourse. Again, talking of the overarching agenda of sustainability encapsulated in the 17 Global Sustainable Development Goals, look at scale, look at location, trends, and patterns. We need to understand all this. So moving from SDG number 1 even through SDG number 4 on quality education, and COVID has disrupted the education sector in such a way that teachers like us have to embrace technology, delivering lectures online and having a blended mode where you have a good mix of physical lectures and virtual environment for delivering such lecture materials and recording the same for follow-up. So we have these key points when we are talking of the overarching sustainability agenda. We are all one with the rest of nature, and we live in an interconnected world. But you see, location-based intelligence is at the heart of today's geodata-driven digital revolution, as we said during the introduction. So we are saying geospatial technology is at the center of today's data-driven and location-based development agenda. Think of transport and logistics, think of housing development, and even the need to ensure safety of built structures and the built environment generally. Hence, monitoring environmental indicators and monitoring the structural integrity of these built infrastructure assets. Don't forget what we call critical infrastructure, for example, in the structure that need geospatial technology for proper design, for proper implementation, and proper maintenance. Think of firefighting infrastructure. Think of the ambulances and the routes they need to reach a particular destination in the shortest time. Geospatial technology, you understand as well as I do, is at the center of making that decision. So geospatial technology is key to decision support for critical infrastructure and delivering critical services such as emergency response. Last time when we had this live chat, I gave the example of Helsinki, the capital of Finland. What has geospatial technology helped them to achieve? And we said, giving a real life example, that in Helsinki, you are assured that emergency response will be delivered within an average of 6 minutes. And geospatial technology has been at the center of that achievement because of an up-to-date and accurate national addressing system, because of mapping of routes, and because of digitalization with georeferenced data and information to enable fast service delivery and where it matters. So that enhances efficiency and effectiveness, where efficiency is doing things right, but effectiveness, doing the right things. Ask yourself in Nairobi, for example, are we keen on doing things right, but not doing the right things, or trying to do the right things and not doing things right? We need a combination of those two for effective output per unit effort, and also to identify the right things to be done in order to transform not only the capital areas as well, because they need key services and a well mapped out framework with digital data that can be processed using GIS is not a luxury. It is not just a good idea, but it is a basic minimum for transforming our counties and achieving high development outcomes in a country such as this. So that graphic is showing you the 17 sustainable development goals you'll be talking about. And talk of climate, for example, part of ensuring that we understand climate change and the measures of adaptation we need to take, and the governance model that we need to be responsive to climate change requires geospatial technology. We require the mappings, we require the sensor-based data acquired using sensors from different places. We need to integrate the data. We need to assess vulnerability by location, and hence the right course of action to take. Talk of the oceans, the blue economy, positioning and navigation on the water bodies. We need geospatial technology, land, no question. In fact, the surveying profession or the geospatial engineering profession has had land surveying as its archetype. And so there's no question about land and land management and land administration when it comes to geospatial technology. Then you may think that some of these are remote. For example, if you are asked, how then is geospatial technology key to addressing inequality? And we have said very well, you have learned in college, for example, that if you are talking of distribution mapping, you know there are different kinds of projections that you can use. For example, equal area projection. So if we have issues of socioeconomic importance which are contested, and you need to ensure equitable distribution, you as a geospatial expert should be the one to develop these models based on equal area projections, for example, and hence help with policy development for achieving or attaining equitable socioeconomic outcomes. Talk of number 12, SDG number 12, that is sustainable consumption and production. We are talking of the circular economy. How can we minimize waste? But we have the intelligence on where waste is generated. We have this intelligence with location-specific data or location-specific information on where this waste goes into as the grave, because we are talking of a linear economy of working from the cradle to the grave, and that is what we need to transform through what we call circular economy, from cradle to cradle. How can we minimize waste and improve recycling ratios? You'll agree with me that having a well-mapped out framework, having location codes, having that intelligence, location-based intelligence, will facilitate governance in such a way that we can achieve all the goals of what a circular economy should be. If you are mining materials or quarrying, are we not interested in the origin and destination? Are we not interested in what determines the cost, the final cost, because of the cost of transport, for example? And if you are talking of food security number 2, for example, are you not careful about where what you eat is coming from? Hence, the kind of water that was used to irrigate the crop, what was the quality of the water? And by the time it reaches you, how can we have eco labels that have location codes leveraged on blockchain technology so that you can know the food attributes of the water, the food that is reaching you, or what you call from the farm to the fork. Geospatial technology, you can see, is key to informing that kind of intelligence-led traceability. And water, similar to food, energy, talking of energy efficiency and energy affordability. You cannot divorce this from the mineral resource sector, oil and gas sector. And you can see at the foundation of all these, we need mapping, we need geoprocessing, we need location, we need that sense of the distance. And when it comes to water, it is even more interesting because we have what we call virtual water. You may be proud of your high-end smartphone, but do you know how much water was used to produce one unit? For example, to produce one t-shirt, on average, you need almost 3,000 liters of water. So can we inform national development discourse on where this water came from? And if we are going to talk of benefit sharing, what can we give back to the communities that are responsible for conserving these environments, our water towers, or where the water came from? And you have been hearing all these debates in Parliament. You as geospatial experts should be at the center of elevating the intelligence we need for decision making based on origin and destination. Now, as we go towards the conclusion, on the right-hand side, you can see what we call a transformation map. A transformation map is showing interconnectedness between different outcomes, different drivers of change, and different sectors in society. Now look at education and innovation, for example, and you will see it is interconnected with what we call the fourth industrial revolution, economic progress, entrepreneurship. And if you click on any of this, you can see how the nervous system is connecting it to all the other issues and sectors here, for example, artificial intelligence. So what is this challenging us within the geospatial community to adjust to? It is challenging us to move away from narrow interests, narrow interests in just one area of technical expertise, and to know how this technical expertise interfaces with all the other areas of development, social, economic, environmental, and by so doing, we'll have a higher bargaining power and stronger advocacy to ensure that geospatial technology is elevated from the margins to the mainstream of national development agenda. And such a transformation map is widely used by the World Economic Forum, which is a well-recognized, a famous body of experts and professionals who are well versed in global development agenda, especially when we are talking of global competitiveness. Again, to my left, you can see that report called the Clash of Systems. And this is a recently released report that is showing the competition between the European Union and China in Africa. And it had been launched in Germany. That was on June 21st this year. The same will be launched here in Kenya on 19th this month, that is 19th July 2022. And if you read this report, you will be excited as a geospatial expert to realize that at the center of this class of systems, competition between the European Union and China in Africa is the awareness of geography. We talk of geopolitics, we talk of where resources are, how much are the resources in terms of quantities, how accessible are they, and what technologies can provide the intelligence for decision support to these countries. And geospatial technology is key to providing the information that they need to have a stronger bargaining power in Africa. So this report again is free. You can follow. I'll share with Frank the link so that you can read more about it. And this will challenge you to embrace a transformation map such as the one you see to my right, that as a geospatial expert, as a young surveyor, a young land economist, a young quantity surveyor, and generally all members of the landed profession, we need to broaden our perspectives, and we need to ensure stronger advocacy for our skill sets and show how our skill sets are not just confined within land surveying or specifically cadastral surveying, that is the best known, but how it extends all the way into the health sector, adapting to climate change, issues of energy efficiency, even issues of migration, talent migration and talent circulation, artificial intelligence, and human rights. For example, if mining is affecting a given area through blasting, but it is underground mining, how have we ever come up with solutions in 3D cadastre that can enable us to understand the three-dimensional effects, not just the two-dimensional effects of such activities? Hence, adequate compensation based on geospatial exactitude. Even the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights appreciated way back in 2017 through a report on Taita Taveta County that land questions are at the center of addressing human rights in mining. But to get the geospatial exactitude to address these land rights fairly, you need mapping, accurate surveying and mapping, and you need those GIS databases that are leveraged using high-end technologies, and better still, technologies that ensure shared visual evidence and participatory decision making, as well as participatory technology development, so that you can come up with what we call fit for purpose solutions. So, in conclusion, see, this is now on COVID. As a geospatial expert, you have done a lot in mathematics. You are familiar with scale. When I plotted how different countries across the world have been performing in the area of containing COVID using the indicators of testing index, this is a logarithmic scale because you have countries outside Africa that are performing very well and countries in Africa that are challenged due to technology deficit and other issues of resource deficit. You see the web is wider towards these countries outside Africa, and you can see how the indicators have been changing from the year 2020 all the way to this year as late as 20th June this year. Now you can see this definite divide, and you can link this divide to technology deficit. But come to a country like Rwanda, which has been embracing technology. It is with us here in East Africa, and you see its web is wider. And where is Kenya, our country? See where we are. And analyzing this one keenly, you cannot divorce the good performance of Rwanda from embracing technology. And geospatial technology, one of the key technologies in realizing these outcomes, even using drones for deliveries and addressing the critical needs for emergency response. And this is fatalities. Again, you can see when it comes to fatality, it has been recording lower than most countries in Africa. And what of the vaccination rate? You can see it also has a wide web that is comparable. If you follow it here, you can see it is comparable to some countries such as Brazil, such as Spain. And this one is showing you very well, even comparable to the US, showing you very well that we need technology as a critical enabler. And that is why one of the articles I'll share with Frank for you to read further is on technology as the citadel of transformational agenda. So thank you for coming on board, and we'll have a session on questions and answers. But my concluding message is that we need lifelong skills development, but at the same time, what I call anticipatory skills development. You must anticipate what the future demands of you. And we have been challenged here that the future demands of us moving out of our comfort zones in narrow interests and disciplinary specializations in technical areas that have no linkages with the immediate needs of the society and economy. So think of what you can do with your skills and develop them so that you can address these nonlinear and diverse needs of the economy and society and the environment, of course, the physical environment. So talking of education, for example, we need to go beyond the first E of education to 3 more E's, which I call exposure. Strive to be exposed, strive to gain experience, and strive to gain emotional intelligence by interacting with people globally and venturing abroad if possible, so that you can also enhance your exposure. And we see that one very well when it comes to governance. Even the kind of governance we need for our counties need those 4 E's for better outcomes. Disaster governance, geospatial technology is key to that. Policy development for equity and justice, where equity involves affirmative action, but justice goes beyond equity to involve making it easy and fair for people in their diversity to reach particular goals. Because you cannot have affirmative action all the time. You also need to level the playing field to ensure justice and the knowledge of where, the knowledge of quantities and how they are spread across geography is critical to achieving both equity and justice in natural resource management and resource distribution. We need organized development to do away with the disorganized settlements we see around, and to increase even what we call parks to parking lot ratio. If you are to map out Nairobi, the city of Nairobi today, and you use satellite imagery, aerial photography, maybe imagery from drones, and you come up with analysis of areas. What would be the ratio of the parks, for example, Uhuru Park, other green areas, to the parking lots, the paved areas. So geospatial technology will enable you to have that comparison and monitor it over time so that we can ask ourselves, are we progressively achieving the green agenda? Because having a very high parking lot or paved areas to parks ratio is not sustainable for the environment. We come up with urban heat islands, and even the velocity of surface runoff during rainfalls becomes unmanageable and ends up damaging the drainage infrastructure that we have. Natural addressing system to promote logistics and transport, even security as well. Sensor technologies and immersive technologies. Immersive technologies where we are now talking of extended reality, for example, virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality. We need location-based intelligence for that, so that if I am to do what would otherwise be window shopping, but now you don't have to go to the actual shop, you can do it virtually using augmented reality and fit the suit, for example, see how it fits on your body, and then you decide, now I can order it online. You need a national addressing system to ensure that delivery efficiently. You'd also need to know where the shop is so that in case of any complaint and you want to go there physically, you can go there and you can even map out your route to reach there in the shortest time possible. Then artificial intelligence and machine learning, promoting the convergence of technologies, of which the spatial technology is a key driver, so that we can come up with stronger and well-targeted decision support. So thank you, and I believe with this overview, you are now better informed and excited to ask your questions so that we can engage further. Thank you, Frank. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Nashon. We really appreciate it. It's quite a loaded engagement there. Dear viewers, thank you so much for tuning in wherever you're watching us from, whichever part of the world that you are. We are glad that you have joined. Quite a comments are streaming in. So wherever you are, kindly ensure that you share your comments, questions. If you're watching us from on YouTube, we welcome you. That is an Institution of Surveyors of Kenya YouTube channel, as well as the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya, the Facebook. So let's take a breather, and then when we come back, now we look at your questions. Thank you for those ones who have already shared their questions, and we will be ready to respond to them. Yes, we can see Paul Ngugi. Thank you so much, Hashim.
In the scientific laboratories.
Scientific laboratories.
He's behind everything you see working around you.
Does he run the country?
No, he's a chief mechatronics engineer.
At KenGen, we're always working behind the scenes because in these distant places, we create clean, sustainable, eco-friendly energy that runs Kenya. We make the energy that makes a lot possible in Kenya.
been made easier.
You can now use M-Pesa pay bill number 200-800, your ID as account number, or pay via Bonga Points. If you're into internet banking, you can do it via bank transfer.
Or paying via Wave or World Remit.
Take advantage of the 100% penalty waiver and repay your loan today.
Kamilisha malipo ya help.
Terms and conditions apply. Higher Education Loans Board, empowering dreams.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Now we are ready to look at your questions. Thank you, Nashon, for this presentation. I believe you can hear me. Kindly, you can unmute. And as we go through the comments that has come from your end, there's Peter. Can hear me, Nashon?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
A comment from Peter Kadu. Yes, thank you. So Bwana Kadu is asking your comments with regarding to the use of expressway and SGR using Google Navigation Intelligence System. As well as Paul Ngugi, thank you so much. You say you're tuned in. Thank you. Bwana Hashim Majani. Karibu sana.
I can't get you now. Frank, if you can
respond
repeat.
to Bwana Peter Gadu's comment, Nashon.
You asked two questions or one?
Hello.
Because I only got the one on expressway and SGR. I didn't get the second one. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I'm saying I only got the question on expressway and SGR. I didn't get the second one.
No, it's just saying, if I can read again, your comments regarding to the use of expressway and SGR using Google Navigation Intelligence System. He wants to know your views on that.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. You are interested in getting comments from me regarding the use of expressway, of the new expressway and SGR using Google Navigation Intelligence System. So my first comment is that we cannot run away from technology, and I call technology a frenemy of development, a frenemy that is both friend and enemy. So it will be your friend depending on what you use it for, but it can also be your enemy if or the enemy of the society if it is used wrongly. But for you to deploy these navigation systems, navigation intelligence system, you need to begin from the design stage. When you are deciding, did you have in mind that you'd need the leverage of even automatic, for example, the world is now talking of driverless cars, for example. From the design stage, did you have that in mind so that we can have those driverless cars? And you know, automatic navigation will be key to that, and hence how you can get reliable positioning and navigation services. So it has to begin from the design stage as early as that. And when you are talking of the SGR, for example, we also need to ask ourselves, did we have that in mind? That is why we have been talking of anticipatory governance models. You have to anticipate the changes that will come in future, and hence the scalability of your design and the scalability of your operations. So yes, it is a good way to go, but ask questions from the design stage. Did we think of that? And did we leave room for scalability so that we can harvest the full benefits of technological developments? Technology is one thing that keeps improving, and we even have what we call Moore's law, which says that after 18 months, it is like it doubles. We also have the knowledge doubling curve that has been doubling in shorter periods over time, estimated in the year 2017 to take only 1 year to double. But now it is, researchers are saying that soon we'll see knowledge doubling almost every day because of the internet's information superhighway and all that. And so technology is something we cannot run away from. So let's embrace it and let's design for scalability. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, allow me to. I can see time is really rushing. I can see it's already 3 o'clock in the evening. Just to mention, Michael Wanyoike, thank you so much. We can see your reaction. John and Kerubo Tieno, thank you so much, as well as Brenda Masaka, James Rainy Dantes, Magda Jacobs, and many more, including Peter Gaduo, Makubai, Frida, and many, many more I can't mention right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Should there be any more questions, you can just direct them to Institution of Surveyors of Kenya, and then we can get a clarification from Nashon Adero here, as well as mentioned, so that you can be in a position of learning more about it. So, Adero, any shot from your end?
So from my end, I would like to encourage all the young surveyors, young geospatial graduates, upcoming experts, to have that broad world view and to ensure that they commit themselves to lifelong skills development so that they can make an impact globally as global citizens in this new generation and interesting digital transformation environment that we are experiencing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really do appreciate Nashon Adero for your time and dedication to support the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya. Remember, dear viewers, wherever you're watching us from, the institution is always dedicated to ensure that you get to add value and learn more things that are going to be beneficial to your profession, and as well as having your capacity building. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Up to that point, I don't think we have much a thing to do from here at the Secretariat. We are so happy that you joined us this afternoon. At least we have learned one thing or two, and more especially how we are going to use the geospatial technology to better our lives and make things work for us instead of working for them, for those things. So thank you, Bana Adero. I know you are out of session right now. When you go back, send our regards to the generation of young professionals that you're dealing with and you're growing. We thank you for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, up to that point, for those ones who tuned in from the Facebook, we thank you. For those ones who tuned in from YouTube channel, we are happy and ready to have you. So let's meet next time, maybe a week after next week, for another session, another week. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and we meet here and we learn more. ISK Facebook Live Chat is here, ready, new, preloaded, ready to ensure that you get a thing or two that is going to benefit you in your professional career. We thank you. We care about you. And on behalf of everybody who made this session, Nashon Adero, on behalf of everyone from the Secretariat of Council, thank you, dear members. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you and we really care for you. Up to next time, we say adios. Thank you so much for listening and watching.